How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews back with new brewery time. NJBCo time in the form of their Just Peachy. This is a peach sour ale coming at 6% alcohol by volume. On the back here, we have a little bit of story time. It says, our peach sour has enough sweetness and thickness in its body to feel like you're biting into a tart peach sip after sip. Pilsner malt, oats, and a large amount of wheat. A huge dose of peaches mid-fermentation make it happen. Galaxy and the Whirlpool adds to the peach flavors and gives this one depth and complex tropical notes. We taste sour peach ring, candies, peach cobbler, and tart smoothie sips. Cheers. It has a bunch of people from the brewery listed on there, or friends. And this was canned 2/25/21. Today is like the 10th or 11th of May. So you're talking about almost a 3-month-old peach sour? You know? I'm not gonna lie to you. That looks pretty damn good. Peach beers, when they're like copiously dosed with a ton of peaches, there's been a lot of hits and a lot of misses with those, let's put it that way. So I'm a little bit wary diving into these. Immediately off the bat, I'm quite encouraged because it's not some soupy, chunky mess. Index finger, khaki colored head, pretty uniform tight compact bubbles, and just has a nice uniform kind of deep, rich haze to it. I mean, it looks like it's held up quite well over the past couple months. It's good nose. I mean, it really is a very, very, very soft sour. It's not even sour, it's tart. But it's very soft, very, very softly hopped, but the Galaxy comes through. An infinitely soft peach, like almost like underripened, super soft peachiness. So you're talking about 6%, you're talking about copious amounts of peach, you're talking about Galaxy, you're talking about sour. I don't really get that in spades, but there's a little kind of flirting with that on there. So it's not a big nose. 6%, not expecting a big nose, but expecting a little bit more than this. So it smells nice, nothing off flavor, nothing negative. Just the ever so slightest bit of each one of those components. So I'm just going to dab in. Cheers. That's really tasty. That is. In the coolest thing about this beer. It's not this, but it reminds me of that, which I think is really fun. It reminds me a little bit of kind of like a farmhouse ale with peaches. You know, just the way the yeast comes off, the way the beer drinks, the way the peaches kind of come off from here, that bit of tartness. You know, you read this, you reach peach sour ale, okay, and then you get in the back and you talk about those, you know, the Galaxy hops and the oats and, no, I mean, it has that big wheat thing, which is probably where I'm getting that kind of, if not a yeast kind of flavor in there. But, I mean, they talk about peach ring candies, peach cobbler, and tart smoothie sips. It really does come off as like a really non-acidic tart kind of farmhouse ale. I mean, it doesn't have that kind of peppery, funky kind of thing you'd associate with farmhouse yeast. But with that wheat in combination, the way the peaches come off, which is really nice, underripened, tart kind of peaches, very much organic. This is really tasty. It's a really tasty beer. It's beer, too. That's the thing about it. You know, you talk about these kind of fruited sours that come in cans. You always automatically default to, or I should say, most people probably automatically default to, you know, kind of like expectations of what you're going to get. We shouldn't do that as beer drinkers, nor should I do that as someone that talks about beer on YouTube. But you can't help yourself sometimes, so I expected it to be a little bit different. You know, they didn't call it lactose and all the crazy stuff that a lot of these people put on beer, but, you know, it's kind of expecting something a little bit more pastry, a little bit more sweet, and this is a little bit more reserved. And like I said, with that copious amounts of wheat they put in this thing, and the way the peaches come off, and where that tart level kind of lives, it really comes off more farmhousey-esque. It's not a farmhouse ale. That's not how I'm saying, but it's has a similar DNA set to that, to where that's kind of what I'm getting, and I dig that. I think it's fun. I think it's tasty, and I think this is a really fun beer. yeah. One more round. Tighten this up. Beautiful mouthfeel. Peaches from start to finish, but nothing overly aggressive. Appropriate for its ABV level. A big wheat component, but there is an added sweetness. It's probably from, I would assume, the peaches or the other malts that kind of makes this not as wheat ale-y. That's where it's kind of the combination of the wheat with that sweetness, the tartness, and the peaches really does drive me into that kind of farmhouse direction. And then finish is relatively dry. You get a little bit of lingering peach in there, a little touch of lingering bitterness from the hops. Done and done. This is one of the better fruited sours, that I've had as late. Sure, we'll put it in the conversation. Let's add a little filter to that. Let's drill down. This is one of the better fruited sours I've had out of a can as of late. It definitely elevates itself. Still not Mount Rushmore status, but you're talking about out of can. Typically, you are getting those fruit smoothie beers, and while they're ones that have had better than this, it's pretty fun stuff. Really good stuff. Got New Jersey Beer Co. Value and availability, no idea. I'm pretty sure I can get this off the shelf. I've seen their beers on shelves before. Poop on me for not picking any stuff up yet to review. But yeah, I'm assuming you pick this off the shelf. I have no idea about price point. So Mike B, that's who gave me this beer for those playing on or scoring it wrong at home. Words are hard. Hopefully, he can let me know what's what and leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like peaches and farmhouse sales. But I think farmhouse sales would be a little bit too funky, a little bit too kind of peppery, kind of yeasty. You want something that's a little less that, but still gives that corn soul of those kind of peach fruited kind of farmhouse sales. That's really where this itch will scratch you, or where you'll scratch that itch, I guess. And it's fun. It's a really fun beer. I want to try more from these guys. Let's put it that way. There you go. Our review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif. If you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little NJBCo right now. We'll see you next time. Cheers.